beautiful people. Welcome back. So, we are going to do a recap and a review of Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 5, titled The Burn Session. So, we start off the episode with Ashley and Candiace. We have Ashley going over to Candiace's house, and she is going for wine and cheese and sushi. So I think they're just going over there to catch up, just, to see if they could really, they mended their friendship or, just being cordial to each other. So they're trying something to see if they could move forward. I must say, Candiace's hair, your hair looks beautiful. If those are extension, girl, they look good. But your hair looks gorgeous. So, we have them talking about Michael. I remember at the family day picnic where Ashley told everyone that Michael had gone and gotten a vasectomy. Then she let Candiace know that after his vasectomy, Michael went to Vegas. And she's been trying to get in touch with him as far as, releasing a statement about their separation because it has hit the media. Somebody leaked it. And she wanted to talk to Michael to see how he wanted to handle it. So she let Ashley know that Michael did pick up the phone and told her that all he needs is just 24 hours. And then he'll get back to her and to, for her of how to deal with it. So while talking, Candiace told Ashley that she's hearing rumors out there that Ashley has been dating a hockey player. And Ashley goes in to tell us that it was purely innocent, that, she went out with some friends. And the guy was there and they just happened to be talking, but there's really no date. She's like, right now I'm just focusing on what's going on in my life. They start talking about other people in the group who's having dating rumors, and they're saying that Karen's name is being thrown out there in the street, that she's stepping out on Ray baby. So they just touched on it briefly, and I guess we're gonna pick it up down the line. So that was just the gist of their meeting, getting together and just talking about what's going on in their lives and so on and so forth. In the next scene now, we have Mia, and she's at home with her family. They're having dinner outside, and they're talking about the opening of their 25th clinic, the franchise, the joint chiropractor, I believe. Yes, and Mia is saying that she doesn't want to open another one, but then G is saying that, listen, that's what you say after every single opening, so I know we're going to be opening more. And if you guys haven't heard, in the social media, we had where Mia came out and put out a statement that G was removed as the director of the company, and they have something going on behind the scenes. So I guess we're going to touch on that later on, but I don't think we're going to see it in the show itself. It might be coming in next season. But I'm still watching social media to see if Mia has given us an update as far as that is concerned. She's telling G that she wants to plan a girls' trip to Miami for everybody in the group. She's going to invite them all to Miami. And then they reminisce on good times that they had in Miami themselves. We've come to find out that Mia was Gordon's mistress before she became his wife, that she was cheating with him while he was married, and Miami was their place to get together and have some fun. She's telling us about a time where she knew that they had an audience while they were doing the do on the beach, and they didn't care. They wanted people to watch, and they were exhibitionists. I'm like, what, girl? We don't need to know all of that. Yes, you look like a fun time girl, but come on. That's a little bit too much information regarding you and Gordon. So then that was it with her family at home. She was just telling him that she wants to have a trip with just the girls, not the husbands, just the girls. So we're going to see if Mia invites them and if it actually happens. Now we have Gizelle and her girls. They're going to get mani and pedicures. And why is it Gizelle decides to have a full-on meeting in the open salon where everybody else is getting their mani and pedi? People go to these places to relax and be in a zen moment. She is in there having a full-blown meeting with the girls. She's sitting in the pedicure chair, and that's kind of not quite close to the manicure chair. So she's not yelling, but talking loud to the girls about their upcoming Sweet 16 birthday party, about the plans that they're making, what's going to be done, what's need left to be done, how their father's going to react, about the girls not wanting her in the space. All she wants to do is come in and give a quick speech and then be out of there. And the girls tell her she actually have, I think, 90 seconds, they say, a minute and a half, to actually get what she has to say about both of them and be out of the room. So that was Deb at the salon. But I'm like, Gizelle, you could have talked about this in the car. When you go to the salon, you just want to relax. Just be in a zen moment and get your mani and your pedi. Now other people in the place are subject to you, listening to you having a full-on meeting with your girls in the place. Okay. So that was Gizelle and her girls doing mani and pedicures. Now we have Robyn, and we see, oh my gosh, we see Robyn, and Robyn goes to see an attorney, y'all. Robyn goes to see an attorney regarding a prenup. She said that Juan would not be happy about her being there, but she feels that it was necessary. Robyn is giving us a little bit more about what happened to her and Juan, why they got divorced originally. So it stemmed around him cheating, and so that's why they got divorced. So in this prenup, she wants to add a clause about infidelity in the marriage. So she wants to put in that if there's any infidelity in the marriage, Juan would not get anything. So she spoke to the attorney about it. Robyn seems determined about this. This is, she's continuing with this. And the attorney told her that she would send her over some information and let her know exactly what she needed from her to get this going. And now with that, then Robyn is going to have to present it to Juan. Now we have Karen, Ashley, and Wendy, and they're getting together to go pick tulips. Oh, one of my favorite flowers. So they're at the tulip picking farm or whatever it's called, and they're talking, just catching up. Ashley is letting the ladies know about the leak on the internet. She don't know who leaked it, but she doesn't want to talk about it right now. And then Karen is talking to Wendy about the fact that she didn't like that she wasn't at the family day. And then Wendy's telling Karen that, listen, the nerve of Robyn to ask Candiace to come and ask me to take my minor children to the event. Like, where would I do that at? She's like, I would never do that. And she's like, yes, Robyn and I may not be having a good relationship at the moment, but at the same time, you don't exclude the kids. That wasn't cool. So they were going back and forth for a little while, just touching base on things. And then Wendy says, okay, you know what? I think I need to have a collective meeting with the ladies. So I'm going to, put together what is called a burn session so we could put all the grievances on the table and then we'll talk about it. So she is at that stage right there at the tulip farm. She is sending the other ladies a message. She says she's going to put it in the group text and she is going to invite everybody to the burn session. Ashley is trying to get Wendy to word her text a certain way. And Wendy's like, no, you're not going to tell me what to do. I don't want there to be any kind of misunderstanding. So therefore, I am going to write it out the way I want to. Don't worry about it. And then Ashley's still trying to get her to change the way she's doing it. So they kept going back and forth for a little bit till Ashley just basically gave up. And the ladies left the tulip farm. But they left with some beautiful bouquets. And I like what happened at the farm is that, when you pull the tulips, if you happen to pull the bulbs along with it, you get to keep the bulbs because you could plant them and, they'll come back year after year. So that was cool. I really like that. Karen was talking about the fact that she paid $3,000 to get her landscaper to plant certain flowers in the backyard. And as the producers do a flashback and we see that those didn't come together. So I know she appreciated having those tulips. She's like, she's going to plant those herself and just pretend it was part of the $3,000 renovation or planting that she had set up before. So that was the ladies at the tulip farm. Now we have Candiace and Chris and Candiace's sister at home. They're just lounging around, just chit-chatting. I think they were about to have some wine and cheese. And her sister had to bow out. She's like, I just got over a migraine from drinking wine. So therefore, I'm not going to join you guys this evening So I'm going to pour your wine for you. However, I'm going to have some tea. The sister did come in the room and sat down and talked to Candiace and Chris for a little while. And Candiace was talking about her doing the relaunch or the remake of her album Deep Space. And she was so excited to know that Trina, everybody who knows Trina is going to be on her album. And she didn't think it was serious until she actually got the contract. So she was excited to tell her sister that Trina is going to be on her album. And sister was like, who's Trina? Like, really, girl? You really don't know who Trina? Chris is like, you don't know who Trina is? And her sister was like, if it's not Beyonce, I don't know them. I'm like, oh my God, girl, open up your mind a little bit. I know she was playing around, but come on, sis. So then Candiace is now telling them about the invitation. Like, we got an invitation. And Chris is like, we who? She's like, no, not you, babes. The ladies, the women have an invitation to this burn session. And she reads the invitation. And, they're like, okay, it sounds like something good. So therefore, we're going to go. And then they started talking about certain things. And Chris excused himself. He's like, this sounds like a woman talking moment. So I'm going to leave. So as you guys know about, Chris is being accused of doing certain things. His behavior is unbecoming to the ladies. So now we have Chris just not wanting to be part of filming. He doesn't want to be around these ladies because now they're coming for him. It's his season. Everybody has gotten a season where these women have come for them. So I guess it's Chris's season, and Chris does not want to be part of certain conversation. So we left Candiace and her sister talking about, the upcoming events of what's going on. Now we have the day of the burn session. And in one vehicle, we have in one vehicle, we have Wendy and Ashley. They're driving together, and they get a text from the other ladies saying that, yes, with so-and-so. I think it was Karen who sent the text message. She sent the message saying, yes, I'm with Candiace, Mia, Gizelle, and Robyn, and we are on our way. So apparently Wendy ordered a Sprinter van for the ladies. The event space is about an hour away from where they are. So they're leaving Maryland and heading into Virginia. And they had to do separate vehicles because to Wendy's point, she's like, it didn't make sense for all of them to travel together in the same vehicle. So she got different vehicles. So she's telling Ashley about the fact that she's been getting kidney stones. So she's like, I need to drink more water. So Candiace, Ashley's like, why is it you're not drinking water? And Wendy tells us that her schedule is so very busy that she avoids drinking water so that she doesn't have to go to the bathroom. And because she doesn't drink enough water, she's developing kidney stones. So you think, Wendy? Come on. I'm sure spaces that you're in or spaces that you have to go to, they have bathrooms. But girl, you can't deprive yourself of water just because your schedule is too busy. You have to drink water daily, and you have to drink enough. You can't get in 8 cups. Come on. She's also telling us that her mom went for a routine doctor's visit, and that her mom was, because of the what they saw, that her mom was admitted to the hospital. So that was a scare, and that's why she needs to start also taking better care of herself. And Ashley was just agreeing with her, telling her, yes, you need to do that. So now we're in they're flipping back and forth between the ladies in the SUV, Ashley and Wendy, and then the other ladies in the Sprinter van. And we hear Robyn when she's coming onto the van. She's like, the only thing I'm going for is to go be nosy. She's like, I don't think this meeting is warranted, but I'm going to be nosy and to eat, Robyn, because we saw you eating, and of course, free food, you better eat. Shooks, you gonna invite me out and not feed me? If there's food there, I'm gonna eat. So Robyn, yes, you came and you ate, and you will be nosy, and you had something to say. So now we see the ladies back and forth, they're flipping, having their little conversations and stuff like that. Now we see the venue. They didn't tell us where the venue was before, but ladies, the venue is, guess where? It's a vineyard. It's a winery. I'm like, oh my God. Right away, flashback. Boom. Flashback with Monique and Candiace. I'm like, not another winery. Please, dear Lord, let this not go off like it did the last time. But then when we saw the ladies go inside and we saw the setup, we were like, all right, maybe this is going to work because it's a different setup. When we had Monique and the other ladies from season 5, it was set up like in a barn, like it was, standing room. The ladies, you had to stand around the table. Now these ladies are seated. The table is set with fine china. I don't know how fine it was, but it looked pretty decent. It was a beautiful setting. So I'm like, all right, they're seated, so maybe it won't go so bad. Even though the last time they did have fine china because we saw when the glass broke, and we don't need to rehash that. But yeah, you have to think about the flashbacks. Now, when the van pulls up, now we see Candiace goes in the confessional and she's like, oh my Lord, not a winery. Why would this lady even put this event at a winery, knowing my history with winery? And they have the flashback, of course. Real quick, they show where, they had the tussle between the two ladies and so on. But she's like, all right, being that it's Wendy, maybe this will be different and certain people are not here. You know how Candiace are with her words. Only she could come up with certain words when she goes to describe something. So I'm not even going to bother try and say what she said. But in a nutshell, she was like, all right, since it's Wendy, Wendy and I are friends, maybe it won't get so bad. The group is a little bit more docile and it won't get crazy. So now we get in there and we sit down. The ladies are offered wine and cheese before the main course. And then Mia asks Wendy, so can you please explain what a burn session is, because I don't understand what it is. So Wendy goes in and she explains that, we're going to choose one person and everybody is going to write on a piece of paper and a grievance that they have with that person. They're going to read it to the person. We're going to discuss it. And then we're going to burn it. And then we're going to say, okay, it's squashed, it's taken care of, it's done. But then later on, she goes on to say, I'm going to add one more layer to it. If you don't have a problem with a person and you want to just say something encouraging and something nice to that person, yes, we're going to go ahead and do that. So that she explained the burn session. So she's like, all right, I'm going to start with me. And then what she does, she is the subject now. And then she would point to Ashley. Then Ashley would say, what's the problem I have with you? And then Wendy would answer and they would say, okay, so now we squash it and move forward. So she moved around the room and then she got to everybody said what they had to say. Not everybody had nice things, of course. They kind of said that they felt that Wendy came off kind of condescending, kind of mean, kind of acting like she's better than everybody. And she's like, well, if that's what I project, I'm sorry, that's not my intention. And she answered in that way. So now we got to Robyn, and Robyn says to Wendy, she's like, listen, I need you to stop telling people that I try to fight you, because that was not the case. So Wendy was like, yes, it was. She's like, you had people holding you back from trying to get to me. So of course now the producers have to get in there because they got to be messy as well. Why not? They're part of this. So then we have Robyn calls Charisse on the phone and asks Charisse, did you have to hold me back when we were at Ashley's event from coming at Wendy? The producers have the long pause, and within that pause, they are playing it where you see Charisse actually gets up and she's standing between the two and she's holding Robyn back. And Charisse is like, no, I did not. Now we have Gizelle on the side of Robyn, her little sidekick's like, yeah, so why are we bringing it up? We don't need to talk about it no more because it never happened. So Robyn is like, you know what? And on that note, I am going to get up from this table because I've had enough. Of course, Robyn had enough of the argument. Robyn has had enough of the food because Robyn was eating. Robyn has had enough of the food and she's just over it. So Robyn gets up from the table and she goes and she gets in the Sprinter and she puts on her little blanket and she puts on her Uggs and she gets comfortable. So she's sitting there waiting for everything to be over. I'm assuming that Wendy actually planned the event far away from home so the ladies couldn't get up and run away. But somehow they still, disassociate themselves from it. Robyn is not engaging anymore, according to Meredith or Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And she gets up and she goes and she sits in the van. So now, okay, the other ladies said what they had to say about Wendy. We had Karen jump in and tell Gizelle that, you guys on the other side of the table were getting pretty loud and it wasn't necessary. If you're having a discussion as a group, why is it we need to yell? Gizelle is like, well, I wasn't yelling. I just talk loud because I need everybody to hear what I'm saying. So, all right, they left that there. Then we have now Ashley. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Ashley, no, 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 no. So Ashley now says to Candiace, Candiace, I got a phone call the other day from somebody when we are at the Spring Fling event. And they were saying that, Chris was kind of being flirty to them. So Candiace was like, oh my God, here we go, here we go. So she was like, I'm really don't want to hear what you have to say because I know my husband is not being inappropriate. Yours enjoy being inappropriate and it's been documented that he's been appropriate. So I don't know why you coming at me with this. And then Ashley was like, well, Mia even said he was inappropriate. He was looking at her on the dance floor. So Mia said, yeah, he was looking at me. Producers goes in and show that Chris was not looking in Mia's direction at all. Then Mia goes in and said, yeah, he was looking at me, but I didn't say in a sexual way. I'm like, oh my God. Not again, Mia. Not again. Because remember, when we were at the last season when they had the getaway and they were coming for Eddie and Wendy, and Mia said something to the fact where she was like, that's what I thought I said. I'm like, Lord, Mia, no, not again. So the ladies, of course, roll their eyes, threw up their hands because they're remembering the same incident. And then Ashley says to Candiace, she says, so you see, it don't feel good, don't it? Does it? It doesn't feel good, does it? So Candiace was like, yep, see, I know that's what it was about. I know that's what it was about. She's like, I don't know why I'm listening to this bulbous ass forehead woman. I'm like, where does Candiace come up with these words? So I'm thinking, what kind of bulb does her forehead look like, Candiace? Does it look like the tulip bulbs that Karen and then we're picking up out of the tulip field? But then you have to focus in on, when she says certain things, you got to focus in on Ashley. So she had me focusing on Ashley's forehead. Now it does look like a bulb, a flower bulb. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know. Candiace is a wordsmith if there was one. Girl, I don't know. If you're not singing your song, make sure you become a songwriter because you know how to put words together to paint a picture and make people imagine things because you were going in. And she's like, and then Ashley was like, well, I'm hearing that Chris were in other people's DMs and it wasn't as innocent as he was in mine. So, and that is where the episode ended. So yes, they're still doubling down on Chris to say that Chris has been inappropriate with the ladies this season. And Candiace is not going for it. You will not be coming for her husband. She is not about to do this with you girls this season. So yeah, that was the end of it. So girl, that is my recap and my review of the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7, Episode 5, titled The Burn Session. It's to be continued. So I'm about to watch the next one and do my review on that. But Wendy is trying to get everybody to be cordial. We have Robyn she is not in it with them. She is just, leave me out of this. Let me just come for the food and the wine and leave it the hell alone. So that's where we are with it. So thank you for listening / watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on my podcast, make sure that you download it. Make sure you subscribe. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you wish. And until next time, guys, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Bye-bye.